Bears offensive coordinator Luke Getsy will be a head coach in the Senior Bowl. Ian Cunningham, our assistant GM, is staying, and I'll be talking about more news as well in this Bears update video right here. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears news update video, which I'll be doing anytime there's a lot of breaking news going on regarding the Chicago Bears. There's going to be a lot of these videos coming out in the next few weeks and few months as we get into the off season. So be sure to subscribe to my channel if you guys want all this latest news regarding the Chicago Bears and my reactions to the news. But yeah, let's just get into the video, guys. So the first bit of news today is that Luke Getsy, our offensive coordinator, is going to be the head coach at the Senior Bowl down in Mobile, Alabama, which is going to be held on February 4th. Now, if you don't know what the Senior Bowl is, it's basically like a college all-star game, if you will, where all the seniors across the nation, they play in a game in which they will be showcasing their abilities to NFL scouts and NFL coaches as well. And Luke Getsy, being the head coach of the American team, he's going to have a chance to coach a lot of great prospects in this upcoming draft and get a hands-on, close-up look towards these prospects, which is a really big and very important thing for the Chicago Bears and also for Luke Getsy. Okay, first speaking about the Chicago Bears point of view, okay, getting a coach in there that's going to be coaching these guys, that's going to be talking to them, that's going to be with them the entire week in Mobile, that's pretty big, right? Because you want as much time as you can get with these prospects to get to know them as best as you can, because time is of the essence, guys. Like the draft, I know it seems like it's way in the future, a long whiles away, but it's going to get here before you know it. Okay, April's going to get here before you know it. There's so much for the front office, for the coaches to do in regards to watching film from last year, in regards to preparing for free agency, in regards to attending the NFL Combine, all that. So a lot of stuff going on. So the more time you can get with these players in the draft, it's going to be to your benefit. And Luke Getsy being the head coach, okay, not only being the OC or the DC, but being the head coach of the entire, American side of this team, that's going to be very important because he's going to be having more control in practice, doing drills. He's going to be able to talk to these players individually, both on offense and on defense, right? I know Luke Getsy is an offensive coordinator, but being able to scout defensive talent too, that's going to be important for him, okay, to be able to coach defensive talent too if he wants to be a head coach in the future. So really good opportunity for Luke Getsy too, if he wants to be a head coach in future years, which he already got a head coaching interview last year with the Denver Broncos, to be able to coach an entire football team as the head coach and coaching some really good talent as well. So awesome opportunity for the Bears and for Luke Getsy to be able to meet with these guys. There's going to be players like DeJuan Jones attending, like Rashee Rice, like Jalen Duncan. You got Oluwatimi from Michigan. You got players like, Ronnie Bell, Elijah Higgins, Xavier Hutchinson, receivers, some running backs like Chase Brown from My Fighting Illini, some defensive players too, obviously, which we're going to be scouting too because we need defensive help. Guys like Devin Witherspoon, Evan Pace Jr., Henry Toto, the linebacker from Bama. So a lot of really talented prospects are going to be at this all-star game, and it's going to be very important for Luke Getsy to see how these players react to game situations, how they conduct themselves in practice, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, because that's going to affect, where the Bears draft these players and if the Bears draft any of these players. Now, Luke Getsy also gave a statement on this. He said that I'm extremely honored to be selected as the head coach for the American team in the 74th Senior Bowl. It's my privilege to be able to work alongside my peers from around the league and to be able to lead a special group of men that are the future of the NFL. Thank you to everyone at the Senior Bowl for this awesome opportunity, and I look forward to a great week in Mobile. So very good opportunity, guys, for both the Bears and for Luke Getsy. Talking next about some other news, okay, so our assistant GM Ian Cunningham, he's already in high demand across the league, okay. He already got 2 interviews for GM openings with the Arizona Cardinals and with the Tennessee Titans, and with the Titans he actually got a second round of interviews as well. So he was a top 3 finalist for the Tennessee Titans job, but he actually ended up losing out to Rand Carthen, an executive with the 49ers. But that shows you that he's not staying here for very long. Ian Cunningham is probably going to be hired as a GM next year, okay, when there's more openings, because he's in high demand across the league. Okay, he's actually very respected across the league. That's why Ryan Poles brought him to Chicago. He was already a respected part of the Eagles front office before he started working with the Bears. And I'm sure that when the Bears build this thing back up, okay, when they actually attack this offseason, get really good players hopefully in the draft, when they sign people too in free agency, and when the Bears are a better team next year, Ian Cunningham definitely is going to be getting a job somewhere else, because according to everything I've read, he's again very respected across the NFL. He's already attended front office accelerator meetings, which are basically a place where future GMs in the league, young executives meet together with other NFL teams and state their case as to why they should probably be a future GM in this league. Okay, a great networking opportunity, and clearly Ian Cunningham is very good at networking and at proving his resume to other people, because even without doing much with the Bears so far, okay, the Bears just finished with the worst record in the NFL, people already want him and respect him. Imagine what's going to be like next year when the Bears hopefully have much more success during the regular season, and when his drafts, when his free agency decisions with Ryan Poles actually turn into something that we can actually evaluate next year, right? So very, very good opportunity for Ian Cunningham next year to be a GM. I'm really happy that he didn't leave us this year, because if he left us this year, we would not be receiving the 2 third-round picks that are given to you as part of the new rule, where if you get a minority candidate hired to be a GM or a coach anywhere else, you actually get 2 third-round picks, but that would not have been awarded to the Bears if Ian Cunningham left this year, because he's only been with the Bears for 1 year. But if he leaves us next year, then the Bears will be getting 2 third-round picks, which is actually pretty big, okay, because he is a minority GM candidate that will be hired somewhere else to be a GM. And I'm also really happy he didn't leave us this year, because obviously having his input on building this roster up is going to be crucial. I mean, this guy's a very smart guy, clearly, if he's getting GM requests across the league, GM interview requests across the league. So having him alongside Ryan Poles to, hopefully make the best decisions for the Chicago Bears, that's going to be crucial in terms of building this thing back up and building the Chicago Bears back up to contention. So again, really happy that Ryan Poles hired a guy like this that is very smart, that is very well respected, because a lot of GMs in this league, they only hire yes men that are going to be below them always, because they don't want to be contested. They don't want to be questioned about their decisions. But Ryan Poles clearly does not have an ego that prevents him from hiring smart, capable people to work alongside him. And lastly, I do want to talk about the Kevin Warren presser a little bit. I'm not going to talk about it too much in detail, because I encourage you guys to actually watch it for yourself. It's about an hour long, I think. It's on the Bears YouTube channel if you guys want to watch it for yourself. But I just want to kind of state my takeaways, my reaction to the press conference. And man, I was impressed. Okay, watching so many Ted Phillips press conferences, this sounded nothing like a Ted Phillips. Okay, a guy that's content with where he is right now, that's content with mediocrity, that doesn't want to speak too highly about anything because he just wants to be an accountant and be in the background. That's not what Kevin Warren sounded like. Okay, Kevin Warren sounded like a guy that really wants to turn the Chicago Bears around. And I know that he's not going to be in charge of, football decisions. That's going to be all up to Ryan Poles. But being in charge of, building a new stadium, being in charge of improving the technology of the franchise, being in charge of other decisions regarding the franchise, that's still going to be very important in helping the Chicago Bears build their franchise back up to being respectable across the league, because right now the Bears clearly are not a respected franchise. We've had so much losing in the last 20 plus years, and Kevin Warren said that he was not going to be content with this losing. He said that he wants to speak about winning championships with the Chicago Bears. I know that you can't just talk about stuff, you have to actually do it yourself too. You have to walk the walk, but Kevin Warren did sound like a guy that is prepared to walk the walk. And the best part about this is that it seems like George McCaskey is going to fade into the background and not really do much for the franchise anymore. I mean, he already didn't do much for the franchise beforehand, but now Ryan Poles, our GM, is going to be reporting directly to Kevin Warren and not to George McCaskey. So that's one really important takeaway, that Kevin Warren will be having a lot of power within the Bears franchise. And I'd rather have a guy like Kevin Warren have that power instead of a guy like Ted Phillips or George McCaskey, because Kevin Warren actually has experience building championship level organizations like the Rams, and successful organizations too, like the Vikings, that although didn't win a championship, still are pretty successful in the modern 21st century. So seems like on paper it's a really good hire. I mean, I really love the way he speaks about not being content with mediocrity, about how much the Bears fans deserve championships, because yes, we do. I mean, we are one of the most diehard fan bases in the NFL. So I love that he mentioned how much we deserve having multiple championships in our future. And he also talked about the stadium, obviously the Arlington Heights project, and it's basically confirmed that the Bears are moving to Arlington Heights. I know the city of Chicago did put out a stadium redesign model for Soldier Field that was trying to sway over the Bears to stay in Chicago, but that's too little too late at this point, right? And you can't redesign Soldier Field as much as you could a brand new stadium in Arlington Heights on a plot of empty land. So the Bears clearly are going to be moving to Arlington Heights in the future. I don't know when that's actually going to happen, maybe in like 5, 6, maybe even more years, but it is going to happen in the future eventually, maybe at the end of this decade at the latest. And lastly, Kevin Warren did also talk about Justin Fields, which I thought was pretty important, because obviously Justin Fields and Kevin Warren, they went head to head a couple years ago, back when they were in the Big Ten. Fields was the quarterback at Ohio State. Obviously, Kevin Warren was a Big Ten commissioner back then, and Kevin Warren was trying to cancel the Big Ten season due to COVID, but players like Justin Fields were fighting back against that because they wanted to play. And Kevin Warren said that he gained a whole lot of respect for Justin Fields because of the interactions they had back then. So clearly no bad blood between the two. They respect each other. They've conversed with each other a lot. And, You know, there's also a picture the Bears released on Instagram where, you know, they're dapping each other up in the weight room. So I don't think Justin Fields is going anywhere, especially when the president, the GM, and everybody basically has, you know, indicated how much they love him as the, you know, franchise quarterback of this team. So that's basically all the news I have for you guys today. Leave your comments down below. What do you guys think about all this? And leave a like if you guys want more news updates like this in the offseason. But as always, bear down.